Okay, David, lovely to see you back at Cheapside this week. How's your summer been?
Busy. As you can imagine, the work doesn't stop. Enjoyable, spending time with some family and having a quick trip away and stuff, and getting in some games. Even though there's not many games in England, there's games going on elsewhere, so catching the odd game or two. So yeah, it's been great, really.
You got to see the lads for the first time yesterday as well. How are they looking?
They're looking good. I certainly can't think of a time I've been a manager, which is getting on for a while now, where any of the players come back out of shape. So they all look good, they all look fresh. I think they're all glad to be back. I've not heard any moaning yet, which is a positive sign. So yeah, it's been a good first day yesterday testing. I didn't really see them. They were in here doing lots of things with Greg and Ben Mortlock and Andrew Cant. So, you know, they spent all that doing all them battery testing, and then we've seen them really today for the first time doing some more MAS runs and stuff like that. So we get all the baseline data, knowing how and where and when to push them.
And obviously some new faces coming through the door as well. What's your thoughts on them and what they'll add?
Yeah, look, we've got 3 through the door, we've got others coming. Justin is different to what we've got. We know that that's important. Obviously, you know, I think it's the first time we'll let the fans know that Jason has had surgery over the summer, so he'll be out for a while. But Justin played lots of games last year and hit the ground running. We've also got Dara, we've got Chaz, so we know we're not particularly worried about that. Although, you know, Jason will be out for the first couple of months with planned surgery from the back end of last season. He got through unbelievably well. So we've got that. Reece has come in. Reece has had a really good early journey, then found it difficult with a bit of turmoil at Bradford in terms of lots of change of managers, which can happen. But then he's gone away and found his feet and played lots of games in successive seasons, and he's technically very good. And we've now got to get him back up to speed to league football, and he could be a real good player for us. And then obviously we've got Jamie Walker, who's been at lots of big clubs, got promoted last year. I think he might have got promoted a couple of years before with Wigan. You know, a winner, a really experienced head. He's only coming here to help us get, you know, to the top of the table again. So 3 different additions, but 3 that we feel that was necessary and right for the football club. So yeah, we're excited to see how all three go this season.
And fans will be excited about the prospect of new additions. Can we expect to see some more in the coming weeks?
Yes. Yeah, look, one thing I would say is, this time last year I think we had 8 players, second day of pre-season. We had about 4 or 5 trialists. We played 4 or 5 trialists at Clee Town, at Grimsby Borough last year, and you know, we did well to assemble what we got. There was no panic at that point, but we are in a different position. I think we've had 20 players trained today. We're in a different position. We know we can take our time, but we have got others coming. We've got others lined up, and we know that we've done our work fairly early because we had a core of the team that did so well last year already in place. So we're certainly not going to be resting on our laurels. We do need a couple of critical positions still. We've got, like I said, we've got some other players coming in positions that we also need to add. So yeah, we're in a real good position, both in terms of numbers, in terms of squad size, in terms of squad depth, and squad ability. So yeah, we've done a lot of the work. You know, it's been tough. This last 2, 3, 4 weeks has been tough with Joe leaving. It's been a lot of work, a lot of long days, but that's the job, and it's been exciting. It's sort of been back to my crew days where I did everything, but we know it's only temporary because there's all that recruitment process been going on as well in the background. So yeah, it's been full on, and it's been good.
And in terms of specifics, do you have any positions in mind that you want to strengthen in the squad?
Yeah, of course. We definitely need a goalkeeper. I think that's fair to say. We've got every likelihood we're going to need a fullback. With Denver, obviously that's ongoing. We've offered him a deal and he's turned it down, so we'll see how that pans out. But there's every chance we'll probably need one, but we don't know. Yeah, there's other positions. We definitely need a 9 or 2. So I think it's fairly obvious what we need to do, and we're working hard to achieve it.
So you're touching on Joe as well. You mentioned that he's departed, and also Lewis Cass has made the move to Harrogate.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the activity around the club?
Yeah, I think first of all on Lewis. First of all, I want to wish him all the best. I spoke to Lewis. His agent, phoned us and sort of said, look, if I could get him another deal somewhere else, would you allow him to leave to get more football? I said, yeah, we'd be open to that. I don't stand in anyone's way if that kind of conversation happens. It's got to be right for the football club. And we wouldn't let him leave if we were short or we didn't have an opportunity to improve ourselves. But, Lewis was a good guy. I've got nothing but praise to speak about him. He and his agent thought he'd get more games up at Harrogate, and we wish him all the best. So we were more than happy for that to happen, if you like, and good luck to him. And I'm sure we'll bump into him whenever we play Harrogate. I know we know the dates, but I don't know when they are off the top of my head. So that's that. Who else is left? Obviously Joe's left. Joe wanted to go to Lincoln, back to Lincoln, and that's fine. But again, I think we've got to. I think all the fans could see what we've done for George, Greeny, Denver, whoever you want to add on the pitch. Part of my role is to develop staff. So I think it's a real fillip to us as a football club when staff want to move on to other football clubs. We had nearly 100 applicants for Joe's role. That shows the draw of the football club, what we're doing, and how we've progressed staff internally. And I think that's a real positive. So I see it as a positive, and much like when a player leaves that we may or may not want to leave, regardless, it's an opportunity to improve, and that's how I look at these kind of situations.
Touching now on season ticket sales, almost 5,000 have secured their season tickets for the new campaign. How much does that level of the sport mean to you and the squad?
Yeah, look, first of all, thanks very much. Unbelievable effort again. Do I think our home form were blistering last year? No. Do I think you could see certain elements? Yes. Did you see more goals, more action? Yes. It's not going to be boring watching us, not while I'm sort of sat in this chair. Are we hoping for an atmosphere every week like we got in the last game of the season, where there was lots of riding on it with, 9,000 people packed into the ground, wherever it was, 8,000 of them, all with a Harry Haddock in their hand, cheering us on. Well, ideally that happens for 23 league games next year, and I appreciate that. That's a big ask, but that shows the development that we've had just over the course of last season. And I'm hoping for more days like that. And at home, we spoke a lot about, making it a hard place to come. It is a hard place to come. We've got to make it even tougher. We have, and that's a collective effort. Staff, players, fans, getting nearly 5,000 season tickets. Excuse me, is a terrific effort, and we're going to need every one of you again. It's as simple as that. I hope everyone's enjoying this summer. I hope everyone's understanding that we're working extremely hard to give you an even better team than we had last year, to hopefully take us not just one step but 2 steps further. And that any support we receive is welcome, and appreciated.
And we also launched our new home kit. Eagle-eyed fans will notice you made a cameo. I think your Oscar's in the post. What was your experience of that, and what do you think of the kit?
Yeah, look, I think the kit's great. For a start, I think obviously the work that Jack does with the designers, with the film crews that come in, you know, it's a pretty slick production, and you can see the videos. I can remember last year with Tommy and Lloyd and seeing tickets, you know, videos and all the rest of it, and this year with the kits. I think very innovative, very good, and the heart of the town. You know, they reflect the town. You know, turning the lights off. You know, when the last one out and all the rest of it. And, you know, we didn't quite manage to get the kettle back on, but maybe at the end of you know, at the end of the season, we might just say now we can have a cup of tea to hopefully celebrate.
On Thursday, we also announced our fixtures for the season. First fixture at home to Crawley Town. What other fixtures catch your eye, and what do you think of the start?
Yeah, look, I think, you know, we spoke about it in the office, not so much the fixture list, the league again. I think it probably will be wide open again. MK Dons are spending silly money, but then they did last year, but not to this degree. But then it was Carlisle that spent silly money last year, and look what happened to them. There's going to be someone that does well. I actually think Crawley, who we got first game, will do well. Yeah, there'll be others that have built from last year, your Chesterfields of this world, that I probably think will do okay. The relegated teams, Crawley being one of them, they're always going to be strong, but then for the last 2 years, one of them teams has gone again and got relegated again with Forest Green and Carlisle. So, look, we can sort of hypothesise as much as we want about others. We've got to concentrate on ourselves, we've got to take the games as they come, and tick them off and win games of football. It's as simple as that. We'll do our targets, both individual and personally for the players. We'll do the targets for the team and the units. We'll do the individual development plans that we haven't started yet. And hopefully it will build on last season's progress to take us even further. And it doesn't matter what order they come in, we've got to play everyone twice. You know, I'd prefer not to be at Swindon away on my birthday, but that's nothing against Swindon. But that's what it is. Like I say, so, you know, hopefully in 10, 11 months' time, we've got something to play for like we did this year, going into the last game or the last few games.
Well, David, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.